Hello, fellow hitchhikers. Today I am continuing on my series of blockchain applications outside of decentralized finance. I know that's all the rage right now, but that bubble will probably burst soon, and it's a lot of speculation and shell game. I want to focus more on what are the here and now things that are happening um, in the world of blockchain and cryptocurrency. I have Discord ready for showing you something with the Prospectors app that I'm going to go through today, or website, I suppose, or blockchain game. So first off with Prospectors, there are two Prospectors. .io. There's one that's on the Wax blockchain and there's one that's on the EOS blockchain. And the one on the Wax blockchain is called the Yukon edition. So I'm on the wax.prospectors.io. And back in December, apparently, there was this post on why they were moving over to the Wax chain. But there was some disappointment with the EOS blockchain and lack of progress and development. And so the Wax is still part of the EOS. It's an EOS IO. Learning about that. But anyways, let's get to the game. So first off, you do need a Wax wallet. So I'll go over here. And it was easy to create. When I was on the Prospectors website, it required me to create a Wax wallet. I clicked it. A couple steps later, I had a Wax wallet. And within the Wax wallet, you can actually see it's got the Prospectors game here. You can click and link to launch. And it also has this other sort of city builder tycoon kind of game. These dApps are already set up in the Wax wallet for a single click. And you're going to see here I have some Wax and I have some PGL, which I'm going to explain later on how to get those balances. The game itself requires nothing to start up. I did find it took a few different web browsers until I could finally get one to work. When I use my desktop computer, I can use it in Google Chrome or Brave, my preferred browser, Brave, and it works no problem. But on my laptop, it seems I can only get it to work if I use Safari and do this pop-up thing. I'm sure there's a way just to enable pop-ups all the time, but I haven't looked into it. All right. So when you get into the game, you'll notice you have 3 minions, and you start with no money. Up top here, you can see I have a bunch of money. I ended up finding I wanted to get some money in there. It's very cheap to buy PGL, a few dollars, and I was able to get going a little bit more in the game and a little bit more fun. So do I enjoy this game? In a nutshell, yes. It is a fun game. It only takes a few minutes in the morning, a few minutes at lunch, a few minutes in the evening, and it's kind of a click play. One of the things when you first start playing, your minions, there's a certificate up here, and your minions can only work for 60 minutes. By putting in a little bit of money, I was able to buy the certificate so that they could work 300 minutes, and I put in 300,000 gold, and this was down to about 120 the other day, and I've already got it back up to here, so I'll have my money back within a week. So let's look around the map. So first off, the zooming, I can scroll in and out. Now, one thing I found when playing on the phone, the zoom doesn't work very well. It works fine on the computer. And in part, it's because it wants to zoom this background map. And if I go Command plus, you'll see these menu items get bigger and smaller when I use Command plus or minus. Whereas when I scroll with my fingers to zoom, just the map changes. And on the phone, I find just the map changes, and so the side menus are really tiny and hard to read. So if you have a bigger phone, it might work better. Okay, so the center is this little block here. And here is 00. This is the government building. Go back, and when you go to the right and down, that's positive. So it's kind of like an XY coordinate, except for the Y-axis is reversed. If I go up over here, it's going to be positive, negative coordinates. If you look at the top of the screen, go back to 0, 0. This would be negative in the x, and then over here would be negative or positive in the y, because the y-axis is reversed. So that's just sort of, if you look up here, it can tell you the coordinates of where people or things are located. One thing I found really handy right away is turning on the filter. This filter, I like the free plots, my favorite plots, and the roots. I find that really helpful. It shows me what's going on. Oh, and I also have some of the jobs posted here. I can select none for now. Maybe I'll just do jobs that don't require tools. So the main currency to earn is gold, but you can mine other resources. Let me go over to their wiki page. There's wood apparently, but I have not been able to find any wood on any free plots. It's only if you stake the claim, and that costs too much money. Stone, there's a little bit of stone, but not very much. Lots of coal, lots of clay, lots of ore. Those three are everywhere, and then of course some gold. So you'll see here I have this person. I originally named this person Woody because my plan was to have him use an axe and a saw and get lots of wood. However, I couldn't find any wood, and there wasn't many wood jobs. So I've turned Woody into a miner, and with the wax that I converted into gold, which I'll show later on, I did buy two of my players a cart so they didn't have to walk around. It does take a long time to walk from one location to another. So when you first start, you have no tools, no anything. You just have your 3 minions. So the way you can make money if you don't want to buy any gold is you can click find a job. And if I select none, I can find jobs that don't require any tools. So here's an example of a job I could do. I have not figured out how I could change the sort order. I wish I could sort of sort it by closest distance or sort it by most profitable. But anyways, if you click perform, it will show you that I'll get 518 gold for doing this job, and it will take 4 hours for this to do it. And the government will take 27 gold coin, and I'll get 518. My general rule of thumb that I have found is it needs to be at least 2 or 3 coins per minute in order for me to consider it to be worth it. I have 518 divided by 256. I'd make 2 gold coins. So I'm going to do this. So perform. It's linked to my wallet, so I have to approve it. This is a blockchain game. And because I'm not a premium, I do have to do the CAPTCHAs every now and then. It's not all the time. It's just sometimes. And now we'll see that this character, because I have the filter show routes, this character is going to walk all the way to here, pick something up from the storage, and walk all the way over here. And that person's probably trying to sell it in the store. I'll show you what this is, where they're going to. This is the train station. This train station does go to the EOS Wild West. So it's the prospectors on the EOS blockchain. And so you can create an EOS wallet and play on that blockchain as well. I haven't figured out how to get an EOS wallet to work yet. I'm having a problem getting that starting funds in there because I can't get a credit card to work on it, and I can't figure out how to get it to accept some EOS that I've purchased elsewhere. I will figure it out. I ended up going over to Wax and I haven't gone back yet. So anyways, in this train station, you can have some storage. I bought these items and I've just left them there for now. You can choose your destination. It's only the EOS. Apparently there was recently a Boomtown expansion, but you had to be already playing for quite a while to be able to participate in that. Here's where you can also buy specific things. You place orders and then other people try and come and fill them. I haven't used that. I've been mainly using the market. And if you look up top here, you'll see we're at -1, -1. So let's say I wanted to buy pickaxe. This one here has only got 21% of its life left. They want 800 gold. It's quite a bit. Pickaxes are fairly expensive. But if you take a look, you'll see the -1, -1, -1, -1. That's this train station. It's located at -1, -1. And what can be nice about that is these ones here, if you're already in this area, you don't have to walk very far to get it. Because otherwise, if I wanted to say save this little bit of money and buy this one at -22, -22, it's way over here, which is probably a 3-hour walk for my character or one of the minions to go all the way there, and then they have to go to wherever I'm going to have them go after that. So if I'm already in this area and I decide to go to their store, I can just buy it. Perfect. Buy the pickaxe. Click that and I can buy it. You won't be buying any tools though for at least 3-4 days if you haven't put in any starting money. You're going to mainly be looking for jobs that don't require any tools, like we did with this person. I find the most profits I think can be made from the gold mining or maybe the clay. Now it's interesting, the way they calculate the mining rate is the amount of resource on the block times by, in this case, 1 times 10 to the -6, or 5 zeros and a 1. That 6 tells you how many decimal places. So if I look at this player, this takes me to that player. So this player's, oh, he's on someone else's site. Let's go to this player. Okay, this I named this one Worker 3. Just left the name. So on this here, it's gray. That means this is a free site. Anyone's allowed to mine here. And if I look up at the top, it shows me that there's 3,979,000 gold that's located on this site. And there it is there. And there's the gold. And it's funny, they got 3,979K for like 1,000. But anyways, so this worker has a pickaxe, has a gold pan, and is already located here. So I can say go to work. Now sometimes, now I have, it gives an error, I'll tell you that in a second. So I can go 300 minutes. If you haven't bought the certificate, which takes quite a bit to save up, you'll only be able to work 60 minutes, which means then coming back on every couple hours and saying go back to work. So that's why I found just putting a few dollars worth of gold in, I'm going to get that back, and it makes the game a little bit more interactive and fun. So I can put them to work. It'll approve it. And there we go. So worker 3 is mining this gold. And if I click on worker 3 and go to the backpack, it there was already some gold in there, but it shows the pending amount. So I'm going to get this much more gold again. So that was from the last 300 minutes. Now I'm going to get this gold added to it. So when you first do it, it'll show 0, and you're like, what? I'm not getting any gold. It's right down here. It's telling you the pending amount. Now the reason I bought these carts is so I found in the game it takes a lot of time to walk back and forth, and these carts increase the carrying capacity from 30 kilograms to 250 kilograms. So it allows me to stay in one spot and just keep mining. So this worker 3 is going to stay here and work. Now at the beginning when I went to click, I said, oh, sometimes it won't work, and that's because if you look in this tent, as far as I can tell, these are all the people that are just standing here asleep. Maybe these are accounts that haven't been active for a while. It seems there's a limit on how many people can mine at the same time. So maybe only one person can be mining gold at the same time. And you'll see sometimes little timers beside other people's names, and then it won't allow you to mine, and you got to kind of watch when they're going to be done and decide if it's worth staying or not. Though I think you could have someone mining this clay. Clay can be mined with no tools. You can just send a person there, have them start mining. or you can use these two tools here, a shovel and a spade, and then you can mine it faster. The rate at which you can mine clay is the amount of resource that's there. So in this case, there's 6,012 times 12 times 10 to the negative 6, so 4 zeros, 1, 2 per minute. And then you look at trying to sell the clay. And I found if you look at the market and you select none, and I look at the price of clay, it is around 52 kilograms costs 62 per kilogram. So they have 52 kilograms to sale, 62 kilograms. So you may be getting $1 a kilogram. So you have to do the calculation to see if you're making, if there's enough clay left over that when you times it all out, you can still make your $2 a minute. Otherwise, it's not really worth mining that. And you're going to find that as you look around, there's these deposits, but there's like not much left in them. It means someone else might have had a mine there, or they've just been hand mining it. So you need to do that calculation to see if it's worth it. Otherwise, I'm finding gold is just the best. So that's the mining. That's the doing free jobs. I'm going to see where this fellow is at. Where's Clayton at? Clayton's at over here. So this is somebody else's property. It says info. It doesn't say rent. And I'll explain what rent is in a second. If I look at this info, this person here has it rented until August 22nd. They paid 137,000 gold in order to rent this property, but this has 3,980,000 gold. There's 8,000 coal, 6,000 clay, and they might have a bunch of workers on here working. Yeah, they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have 5 workers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Anyways, depending on your mine, you're allowed to have a certain number of workers. You're allowed 8 workers for this mine, and they're mining coal. So they're getting coal off this property. Now what will happen, and they also have this clay, and they also have this gold. Now they'll post jobs sometimes. So if I had a pickaxe and a shovel, which this person does have in their backpack. So they have a pickaxe and a shovel. So he's got it in his hands. I can go put aside, which basically puts it in the backpack. And then I could take this, and then I'd be able to place it back. But pickaxe and shovel he has. So I should be able to do this job. And it's paying 4 gold per minute. There's only 8 jobs. There's 7 people working, so there's room for 1 more worker, me. So I'll perform, to hold that down for the whole 300 minutes, and I'm going to make 1,140 gold. So now I can just go away, come back 4 hours from now and do the same thing. It only takes like 4 or 5 minutes. It's fun. I can kind of grow. I liked getting the tools, putting a little bit of money in here. I didn't have to bootstrap it up. I found it was taking so much time, and I was just making a couple thousand a day. I was making about 3,000 a day, and I thought, oh, at this rate, it's going to take me like 3-4 months before I even have enough to do anything that's kind of profitable and fun. So I put some of my funds that turned it into wax and bought the gold, which I'll show you how to do in just a second. So what was I going to show you? Oh, the rent. So if I look at these kind of places here that are gray, because I have my filter on, it shows me the free plots. If I turn that off, it gets rid of all the gray. If I click on one of these, I can rent it. Nobody has this. So I could start mining this, or someone else can come start mining it, and anyone's allowed to it. I can't use the storage. If I put something in storage and someone else comes, they'll take it. So if you happen to be on one of these lots and there's something in the storage, it means somebody just dumped it because they wanted to make room in their inventory for some other job that they were doing. So you can have it for free. So I can rent this for 137,000 gold. That's a lot of gold. So I haven't rented anything yet. I can also mark it as a favorite if I want to maybe come back to it later, and that'll put dots around it. I'll show you what it looks like. I have favorited some of, I'm going through and holding the mouse over top of properties, and if I see that there's gold, then I favorite the plot, because there's not many free plots available for gold. So they're where I go when I can't find a job that pays at least $2 a minute. I go to my favorite plot. So I've gone through and held my mouse over top of each one. And then if I find one that has gold, I mark it as a favorite. Anyways, don't have to do it now. Oh, there's one. Oh, it's not free. See how it's white? I mean, somebody else owns it. They just don't have any infrastructure on there. So there might be, even though there's no infrastructure, maybe they have people hand mining it. No. So somebody's renting this and not mining it. Oh, this plot is blocked because the rent is expired. So they didn't work it, or they stopped working it. So in 3 days, it's going to be confiscated by the government, and then it'll be put up for auction. You can look in the land registries, and then you can make a bid. And you look at some of these, you gotta be careful, because like, hey, $500 I can get a property, but there's nothing left in the rental contract. So you're basically just getting first dibs at renting it. Or they have like no days left or 9 days left. So sometimes it's not worth it to rent it. I did find one in here though, at one point, that had, it was only 50-50, it wasn't like this, it was only 50, had 2 days left, but it had a bunch of inventory. So I got it for 50 coin. I then went over, emptied all the inventory out, put it all up for sale, and then let it expire. That's why when you saw I logged in, I had that pop-up telling me that I had a piece of property that was about to expire. And I didn't care. I just went there to get the stuff. Okay, so this is where you can store, if you did own a property, you can store stuff here. Otherwise, you have to use the main train station. What's here? Oh, this is a central bank. So this bank, when you mine gold, let me show you this character here, has this gold ore. If you come to this bank, they charge you a 10% fee, and they'll churn your gold ore into gold coin. All the other banks, though, only charge 7%. And there is a way to find a bank. And you can see 7%, 7%. Oh, this one's 10. That's the main one at -100. All the rest just charge 7%. So that sort of seems like a standard rate. And it can tell me my distance. So the closest bank to this worker 3 is this one here. And I could, if I was in this plot, trade my gold and get it for this gold at a cost of 7%. Right, I want to show you a few other things if you're still with me. The chat. This chat is terrible. It's just filled with this spam, this wdsqu.wham just spams it endlessly. I don't know why there isn't a moderator or someone who blocks them. But I did post a few questions in here, and people did answer it. So you do get some conversation. Oh, here's me. I said, what are the points that appear at the bottom of the screen? You'll see these points. And somebody answered it. They said recent transactions. So I didn't really get that. But I did notice that in my profile, I have level 3, 209 of 1300. So I think I'm earning points for different things that I do. And then I level up. And then something happens when you level up. I don't know what. Lots to learn. Anyways, you can play it for about 5-10 minutes a day, or you can spend hours looking and searching and reading about it. Now, let's talk about a few things about how I got the gold and the wax and the PGL. So, first off, I had the wax wallet, and I had to get some wax. And I just bought wax off IDEX. So if you can look at some of my other videos, or you can search how to use IDEX, you need to have a MetaMask wallet is probably one of the easiest things. Um, Actually, no, I didn't buy the wax that way. I think I used Changely, and I converted some EOS that I had, and now I kind of regret that because I can't get the EOS one to work. But I had some EOS in my Atomic wallet, and I used Changely and converted it to wax. That's what I did. So either ways, the wax seems pretty easy to find. It's sometimes called Wax P or just wax, but I was able to find it in a few sort of standard exchanges. Then I went to get some PGL, and the only way you can get PGL is on the Nudex exchange. And this I had a bunch of trouble, but I just kept, and I contacted support. They gave me a response, and basically I just went onto a different computer, and then it finally worked. I tried different web browsers and stuff, but by going to a different computer, I got it to finally work. And then I had to figure out how to use it. So under Exchange, also on the EOS blockchain, because PGL and Wax is part of the EOS family. Under Exchange, trading. And then on the side chain, it'll often be over here, but on the side chain, under Wax, I found PGL Wax. Okay? And this enabled me to bring up this. And I had to sign in and linked it to my Wax wallet. This ZWC, whatever, that's my Wax wallet. It's linked to my Wax wallet. I'm able to have this PGL Wax. Then I could do a limit order or a market order. And then I hit buy, and it put the PGL into my wallet automatically. It was really quick. It was just cost me a couple of PGL. The price was very cheap. So for like $5-6, I got a couple 100,000. I don't even know if it cost that much. I got a couple 100,000 gold. I then was able to use that to sort of angel invest into my little operation here. And I did some calculations. If you want to look at the value, one PGL is worth 1,000 gold. So that one wax would give me 3 PGL. 3 PGL would give me 3,000 gold. So the wax goes really, and wax is like a couple pennies, whatever it is per wax. So you get thousands of gold for a couple dollars. But what's nice is you can also take the gold and turn it into PGL, use Nudex to turn the PGL into wax, and then the wax you can turn into money. So I did some calculations, and based on this exchange rate, based on the rate of gold, and based on the available properties and how much gold is available on those properties, and if a person played a perfect day with their 3 minions, I figure a person might be able to make $2.50 US a day. Not sure it's fully worth it, but it does give you the option to play to earn. So if you're into that. I think more importantly, though, it does keep the economy part of an open market of cryptocurrency. If you play Fortnite, for example, and you do all of the objectives, you can earn enough V-Bucks to get the next season free. Well, that's great, but wouldn't it be great if you could convert those V-Bucks and get other things with them, play some different games, or maybe even if there was just an ecosystem within Epic that you can move those V-Bucks around or whatever. So you're seeing more and more of these play-to-earn games. Oh, alliances. Okay, and I'll talk about referrals in a second, and the alliances. So the alliances, when you go to buy stuff, sometimes you're like, oh, this is awesome deal. There's something for it. I made a select all. Look at this. I can get this saw for 1 gold coin. That's amazing. But you have to be part of this alliance. And they somehow pool resources, and they have a leader, and you can get deals. This King of Games has 913 people and then 100, and then it tapers off real fast. If you want to create your own alliance, it costs a fortune, 274,000. So I haven't bothered. there are going to be certain commitments. It's not going to be really worth it. If all of a sudden everyone playing is a member, it waters it out. So referrals. Oh yeah, there is a premium you can pay. So you know how I had that CAPTCHA? Well, that gets eliminated. Right now it only restores at 2 minutes, 2 points per minute. If I look at my character, they're using energy up. You can see this energy bar going around the circle. It's going to be right down to 0, and then it's got to refresh all the way back up. So after they finish, after this 4-hour jaunt, there still will be some time I have to wait for them to get some energy. If I have the premium, then basically they would always have all their energy, and they'd have way more energy. So they pretty much never run out of energy, and you get all these other bonuses. But then you got to pay $5 a month. I don't want to do that. Referrals. I will put this down in the link of the link below the video. Anyways, if you found this video helpful and you want to use this link to set up an account and play some prospectors, appreciate that. I always like it when referrals give things both ways, but there might be something for you and I just don't know what it is. Okay. I want to show you one last thing, and that is the Discord community. So this messages area was terrible, but if you go to the Discord community and you look at prospectors, so if you join them, they're very helpful. There's not much spam, and you can ask questions. And this is where I just was reading in the general chat that it is possible to stake your PGL. So in the game, I have some PGL, that 90 extra PGL, because it's linked to my Wax wallet, right? I could take this PGL if I go over and create an account on the EOS blockchain, the Wild West. In that bank, I can stake it. Let me show you here. If I go to this bank, go to center. 10%. If you want to increase your passive income by opening a bank deposit, unfortunately this service isn't available in the Yukon Central Bank right now, but our colleagues from the Wild West Central Bank will be happy to help you. It says migrate you, I should say migrate your PGL from your Wax account to your EOS account, go to the Wild West Bank. So, and you can stake it and get some return. I haven't really clicked any of this yet. So for every 10,000 PGL, you'll get almost 2. Yeah, okay, so my 90 will be pretty much nothing. Anyways, there is a staking and you do get some returns. So, and then also you can create an account on there and then use the train station and send resources back and forth. So maybe it's worth it. I'll look into it. Either way, the Discord channel is the way to ask questions and to find out information and be part of the community.